Testing, testing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sunday night session of the 2024 Wilton YMCA Winter Invite. We have a special treat for you tonight as you turn your attention to the middle of the pool for our national anthem, sung by our own Elizabeth Mims of the Wilton Wahoos. Take it away, Elizabeth.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home
Fantastic job, Elizabeth. Here we go. First up, the consolation final of event 65, the girls, 13-14, 200 meter. I am Mr. Referee. First alternate, we're looking for Catherine Hogan from Charter Oak. Come on down, Catherine. Swimming in the consolation final of event 65, the girls, 13-14, 200 meter IM. In lane 1, Claire Mackin from Wahoo's. Lane 2, Catherine Hogan from Charter Oak. Lane 3, Olivia McLaughlin from RAC. Lane 4, Lena Miller from Charter Oak. Lane 5, Nora McGrath from Wahoo's. And lane 6, Julia Pierres from RAC. Olivia McLaughlin with an early lead, going out in a 39-24 in the butterfly. Coming into the halfway point, still Olivia McLaughlin's race. Touching first in the backstroke leg at a 1:24.38. And winning the heat in lane 3 from Rack is Olivia McLaughlin with a 2:57.89. With Lena Miller from Charter Oak coming in second with a 3:15.97. And Wahoo's Norm McGrath is going to take third with a 3:26.13. Next up, the championship final of event 65, the girls 13-14 200 meter IM. Mr. Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 65, the girls 13-14 200 meter IM. In lane 1, Taylor Baloney from Rack. Lane 2, Carolyn Colvin from Wahoo's. Lane 3, Savannah Bowers from What? Lane 4, Ava Maltz from Wahoo's. Lane 5, Sophie Lang from Charter Oak. And lane 6, Hannah von Steenberg from Wahoo's. At the 50 mark, it's Savannah Bowers taking it out fast with a 29.88. A strong backstroke leg for Savannah Bowers, increasing her lead on the field. She's going to turn at the halfway point for her breaststroke leg at a 105.72. And Savannah Bowers from What is going to take the event with 2:24.64. Wahoo's Ava Maltz is going to come in second here with a 2:42.53. And then Carolyn Colvin from the Wahoos is going to edge out Taylor Baloney with a 2:50.27. Next up, we've got event 66, the boys 13-14 200 meter IM. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. From the Wahoos, Brady Morris. Is Brady Morris in the house? Oh. What about Kale Strober from Charter Oak? There we go. Swimming in the consolation final of event 66, the boys 13-14 200-meter IM. In lane 1, Daniel Hickey from the Wahoos. Lane 2, Christopher Prills from Rack. Lane 3, Kurt Jeschke from the Wahoos. Lane 4, Cale Strober from Charter Oak. Lane 5, James Hill from What. And lane 6, Reese Kadanak from What. Touching first at the 50 is Kurt Jeschke from Wahoos, followed by Christopher Prills from Rack. And coming into the 100 mark, it looks like Christopher Prills is gaining some ground in backstroke. Ahead of Kurt Jeschke from the Wahoos. Let's see who touches first at the 100. They are neck and neck going into the breaststroke here. Christopher Prills from Rack and Kurt Jeschke from the Wahoos. A dead heat. They can hear you, folks. Let's cheer them on. This is a dead heat going into the freestyle here. Christopher Prills slightly ahead of Kurt Jeschke from the Wahoos. Can he hold on going into the freestyle leg? Coming down to the last 25, they are neck and neck going into it. Christopher Prills with a slight lead on Kurt Jeschke. And it's going to be Christopher Prills from Rack touching out Kurt Jeschke from the Wahoos, winning the heat with a 2:42.72. Next up is our championship final for the boys 13-14 200-meter IM. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of the boys 13-14 200-meter IM. In lane 1, Griffin Riebling from Rack. Lane 2, Neil Kelly from Rack. Lane 3, Max Weber from Rack. Lane 4, Gregory Pinchbeck from the Wahoos. Lane 5, Matthew Kroll from What. And lane 6, Luke Adams from the Wahoos. Max Weber just under 30 for the 50 fly, heading into the backstroke leg, looking strong. Coming into the breaststroke leg. Max Weber's going to touch first from Rack. And it's hotly contested between Gregory Pinchbeck from the Wahoos and Griff Riebling from Rack. They're going to touch even in the breaststroke, vying for second. It's Max Weber ahead of the field going into the freestyle. And we've got a four-way race for second place between Griff Riebling, Neil Kelly, Greg Pinchback, and Matthew Kroll. And it looks like it's Neil Kelly from Rack with a finishing kick here. He and Gregory Pinchback from the Wahoos are going head-to-head. Taking the heat, though, is Max Weber from Rack, finishing. Finishing first, anyway. And it's Neil Kelly touching out Gregory Pinchback and Matthew Kroll. Next up is event 67, the girls 15 and over 200 meter IM. Madam Referee. Looks like we got a battle here for the consolation final of event 67, girls 15 and over 200 meter IM, with Molly Simmons in lane 2 from Rack and Jasmine Johnson from Charter Oak. In our head-to-head IM duel here, we've got Molly Simmons touching first ahead of Jasmine Johnson. But it's early, and this pool is long. Still anybody's race. Jasmine Johnson touching first. A strong breaststroke or backstroke leg. Followed by Molly Simmons from Rack. And it's Jasmine Johnson winning the heat from Oak with a 2:51.79. Next up is the championship final of event 67, the girls 15 and over 200 meter IM. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 67, the girls 15 and over 200 meter IM. In lane 1, Mackenzie Gray from Wahoos. Lane 2, Veda Congatira from Wahoos. Lane 3, Jenny Liu from What? Lane 4, Amelia Peterson from Charter Oak. Lane 5, Maggie Peterson from Charter Oak. And lane 6, Megan Lucier from Wahoos. Halfway through the backstroke leg, it looks like Jenny Liu and Amelia Peterson from Oak. Neck and neck here, with Peterson with a slight lead. That's Amelia Peterson finishing first, going into the breaststroke leg, closely followed by Jenny Liu. Jenny Liu with a strong breaststroke leg here, pulling slightly ahead of Amelia Peterson. She's going to turn first. Jenny Liu from what? Coming back on the freestyle leg with Peterson hot on her tail. And it's Jenny Liu from what? Touching out Amelia Peterson with a 2:31.35. Next up is the consolation final of event 68, the boys 15 and over 200 meter IM. Madam Referee. Swimming the consolation final of event 68, the boys 15 and over 200 meter IM. In lane 1, Rocco Guglielmo from Charter Oak. Lane 2, Christopher Mika from what? Lane 3, Daniel Gregorian from what? Lane 4, Hirsch Iyer from Wahoos. Lane 5, Ozzie Andrews from Wahoos. And lane 6, Robert Riccobone from what? At the end of the backstroke leg, it's Hirsch Iyer, body length ahead of the field, followed by Robert Riccobone in lane 6 from what? Hirsch is staying about a body length and a half ahead of the pack. Here comes Ozzie Andrews from Wahoos in lane 5. And winning the heat is Hirsch Iyer with a palindrome of a time, 2:22.22. He's got to win something for that. Ozzie Andrews finishing second. Next up, the championship final of event 68, the boys 15 and over 200 meter IM. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship finals. We've got a what sandwich on Wahoo here. Lane 1, AJE from Wahoo's. Lane 2, Jack Cunningham from Wahoo's. Lane 3, Owen Vale from What. Lane 4, John Dwyer from What. And lane 5, Eric Ding from Wahoo's. And lane 6, Gavin Lamb from Wahoo's. It's John Dwyer and Owen Vale from What. Touching first and second. Going into the backstroke. Dwyer's got about a body length lead on his teammate Owen Vale going into the breaststroke. Vale and Dwyer are neck and neck here. Almost finished with a breaststroke leg. Vale with a faster breaststroke leg. He is cruising home. And it's Owen Vale taking the event with a 2:13.47. John Dwyer coming in second with a 2:15.88. And Jack Cunningham's going to take third with a 2:26.30. We've got a 50 next. Timers, you're needed on the other end of the pool. Keep in mind, folks, it's Hug a Timer night here at the Wilton Y. Feel free to give your timers a nice chlorinated hug. Next up is event 91, the girls 11-12 50-meter breaststroke. Madam Referee. Swimming the consolation final event 91, the girls 11-12 50-meter breaststroke in lane 1, Evelyn Klimezkowitz from Rack. Lane 2, Elizabeth Jusham from Rack. Lane 3, Catherine Grant from Watt. Lane 4, Hannah Scott from Watt. Lane 5, Amelia Below from Charter Oak. And lane 6, Abby Kesmerzak from Wahoos. And it's Catherine Grant taking the heat with a 42.76. Next up's our championship final of event 91, the girls 11-12 50-meter breaststroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 91, the girls 11-12 50-meter breaststroke in lane 1, Nelly Zerolo from Watt. Lane 2, Mary Kelly from Rack. Lane 3, Charlie Palmer from Rack. Lane 4, Chloe Highland from Wahoos. Lane 5, Summer Miller from Watt. And lane 6, Mariella Lecomte from Orca. Next up, the consolation final for event 92, the boys 11-12 50-meter breaststroke. Madam Referee. Swimming the consolation final of event 92, the boys 11-12 50-meter breaststroke in lane 1, Gabe Konopka from Wilton Wahoos. Lane 2, Garrick Jeschke from the Wahoos. Lane 3, Nick Winslow from the Wahoos. Lane 4, Ihan Liu from the Wahoos. Lane 5, Liam King from Rack. And lane 6, Jake Howe from Fairfield. And now, the championship final of event 92, the boys 11-12 50-meter breaststroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 92, the boys 11-12 50-meter breaststroke in lane 1, Easton Longo from Watt. Lane 2, Marco Kovac from Watt. Lane 3, Matthew Cunningham from Wahoos. Lane 4, Henry Gimby from Wahoos. Lane 5, Eddie Illard from Wahoos. Lane 6, Oliver Elwart from Rock. And winning the event with a 37.69, that's Matthew Cunningham from the Wahoos. Timers, we miss you. Come on back to this end of the pool, please. Next up, the consolation final for event 69, the girls 13-14 200-meter breaststroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in a time final here is Catherine Hogan from Charter Oak. It's a tough thing, folks, to get up at night and swim a 200 breaststroke long course. Let's give her lots of support here. Finishing up here from Charter Oak, Catherine Hogan. She may be swimming by herself, but she's not alone. Let's hear it for her, folks. Next up, the championship final of event 69, the girls 13-14, 200-meter breaststroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 69, the girls 13-14, 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 1, Ella Hartley from Charter Oak. Lane 2, Sarah Horton from the Wahoos. Lane 3, Taylor Baloney from RAC. Lane 3, Raya Londano from Wahoos. Lane 5, Carolyn Colvin from Wahoos. And lane 6, Olivia McLaughlin from RAC. We got a three-ray race coming into the 100. Sarah Horton from Wahoos, Taylor Baloney from RAC, and Raya Londano from Wahoos. Taylor's going to touch just ahead of the field. Taylor Baloney and Raya Londano neck and neck in the third 50 of this 200 breaststroke. Coming home, it's Baloney and Londano, neck and neck. Looks like Taylor Baloney has a finishing kick here, pulling slightly ahead. But Raya Londano's hot on her trail, and Sarah Horton not too far back. Can Baloney hold on to this lead? Londano shows no signs of flagging. Does she have enough pool to catch up? And Taylor Baloney from RAC is going to touch out Raya Londano with a 3:09.53. This is the championship final of event 70, the boys 13-14 200-meter breaststroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 70, the boys 13-14 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 2, Jonathan Simmons from Rack. Lane 3, Liam Gorlick from Rack. Lane 4, Nicholas Turian from What. Lane 5, Dylan Issakoff from What. And lane 6, Christopher Prills from Rack. Looks like Liam Goralnik from Rack has a slight lead on Nicholas Turian from What. And it's still Liam Goralnik slightly ahead of Nicholas Turian from What. It's head-to-head. Hard to tell. Who's got the stamina for this 200-meter breaststroke? That's Nicholas Turian from What touching first, slightly ahead of Liam Goralnik from Rack. These boys are neck and neck. Heading down the final stretch here. And that's Nicholas Turian finishing first with a 2:56.04, followed by Liam Gorlick from Rack with a 2:57.22. Next up, event 71, the girls 15 and over 200-meter breaststroke. This is the championship final. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 71, the girls 15 and over 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 2, Jenny Liu from What. Lane 4, Maya Cruiser from Wahoos. And lane 5, Molly Simmons from Rack. Jenny Lou from What in lane 3, setting the pace with a 1:21 at the 100. And it's Jenny Lou taking the event with a 2:50.20. Next up, the consolation final of event 72, the boys 15 and over 200-meter breaststroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation final of event 72, the boys 15 and over 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 3, Ryan Kuntz from Ridgefield. Lane 4, Ian Fagan from What? And winning the heat is Ryan Kunz from Rack with a 3:26.79. Next up, the championship final of event 72, the boys 15 and over 200 meter breaststroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 72, the boys 15 and over 200 meter breaststroke. In lane 1, Daniel Gregorian from What? Lane 2, Lucas Fontana from Wahoo's. Lane 3, Owen Vale from What? Lane 4, Stefan Weber from Rack. Lane 5, Christopher Mika from What? And lane 6. Oh, no lane 6. Stefan Weber and Owen Vale taking it out fast in the first 50 of this 200 meter breaststroke. Weber and Vale neck and neck as they head into the 100, with Vale having the faster second 50. Vale with a slight lead going into the third 50. Weber right there with him, hanging on. And it's Vale turning first at a 152.58. One more 50 to go. Owen Vale picking up speed. A body length between him and Stefan Weber. And Owen Vale is going to take the event with a 2:30.83, followed by Stefan Weber from Rack with a 2:34.89. Next up, the coaches' bathing suit competition. Oh, that's been canceled? Okay, let's have a 10-minute break. The warm-up pool, the pool is open for warm-up. The pool is open for warm-up. Out of the pool, Evan. Next up, event 97, the girls 11-12 100-meter backstroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation final of event 97, the girls 11-12 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Amelia Below from Charter Oak. Lane 2, Madison Devine from Wahoo's. Lane 3, Elsie Osborne from Rack. Lane 4, Kayla Akoff from Rack. Lane 5, Chloe Highland from Wahoo's. And lane 6, Carolyn O'Grady from Wahoo's. Carolyn O'Grady in lane 6. Out to a solid start with a 40.86. Looks like Eliza Osborne from Rack is ahead of the field. And it's Elise Osborne from Rack winning the heat with a 121.48. Now the championship final for event 97, the girls 11-12 100-meter backstroke. Free. Swimming in the championship final of event 97, the girls 11-12 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Mimi Bolino from Watt. Lane 2, Delaney Gorelnick from Rack. Lane 3, Viv Volanek from Watt. Lane 4, Mary Kelly from Rack. Lane 5, Lily Bender from Rack. And lane 6, Allie Garofalo from Rack. And it looks like Viv Volanek from Watt is taking it out to a lead. Turning first with a 34.82 in this 100-meter backstroke. And Viv Volanek from Watt is going to take the event with a 112.06. Next up, event 98, the boys 11-12 100-meter backstroke. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation finals of the boys 11-12 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Robbie Matthews from Bulldog. Lane 2, Nicholas Kakavinakis from Wahoo's. Lane 3, Ryan Migiano from Wahoo's. Lane 4, Damon Sanderson from Rack. Lane 5, Riley Peabody from Wahoos. And lane 6, Gavin McCoy from Rack. And it's Ryan Migiano from the Wahoos, winning with a 128.04. This is the championship final of event 98, the boys 11-12 100-meter backstroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship finals of the boys 11-12 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Nick Winslow from Wahoos. Lane 2, James Yan from Charter Oak. Lane 3, Gabriel Nazarzuk from What? Lane 4, Liam King from Rack. Lane 5, Kevin Wu from Charter Oak. And lane 6, Gabe Konopka from Wahoos. Next up, event 73, the girls 13-14 100-meter backstroke. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation finals of the girls 13-14 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Sarah Horton from the Wahoos. Lane 2, Carolyn Colvin from the Wahoos. Lane 3, Sophie Lang from Charter Oak. Lane 4, Alana Ward from Rack. Lane 5, Elsie Heller from Wahoos. And lane 6, Kylie the Panda Gray from the Wahoos. So we come into the last 25. It's Alana Ward from Rack with a slight lead on the competition. And Carolyn Colvin and Kylie the Panda Gray coming in second. Who's going to touch them out? And it's Alana Ward from Rack touching first. Kylie the Great Panda Gray coming in second. And Carolyn Colvin with third. This is the championship final for the event 73, the girls 1400 meter backstroke. Madam Referee. Swimming the championship final of the girls 1400 meter backstroke. In lane 1, Ellie Griffin from Rack. Lane 2, Ava Maltz from Wahoos. Lane 3, Bella Zarolo from Watt. Lane 4, Abby Horton from Wahoos. Lane 5, West Bull from Wahoos. And lane 6, Maren Brooks from Wahoos. It's Bella Zarolo from Watt touching first, followed closely by Abby Horton and Ava Maltz. Bella Zarolo with that high turnover, increasing her lead as she goes under the flags. And it's Bella Zarolo from Watt coming in first with a 109.89. Abby Horton second with a 112.13. Next up, event 74, the boys 1400 meter backstroke. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation final of event 74, the boys 1400 meter backstroke. In lane 1, Adam Mims. Lane 2, Harry Zhao from Wahoos. Lane 3, Dylan Isakoff from Watt. Lane 4, Daniel Hickey from Wahoos. Lane 5, Connor Fega from Watt. And lane 6, Kurt Jeschke from Wahoos. Kurt Jeschke out to an early lead in lane 6. Dylan Isakoff and Harry Zhao right there as well. Right now it looks like Dylan Isakoff is pulling ahead of the lead, chased by Harry Zhao and Kurt Jeschke. High turnover from these guys. And Dylan Isakoff from Watt is going to touch first with a 118.95. Next up, the championship final of event 74, the boys 1400 meter backstroke. Madam Referee. Swinging in the championship final of event 74, the boys 1400 meter backstroke. In lane 1, Gregory Pinchback from Wahoos. Lane 2, Neil Kelly from Rack. Lane 3, Griffin Riebling from Rack. Lane 4, Harrison Stroop from Watt. Lane 5, Alex Erickson from Ridgefield. And lane 6, Matthew Kroll from Watt. At the turn, it's Griffin Riebling, followed by Harrison Stroop and Neil Kelly. And Griffin Riebling's going to touch first with a 111.46, followed by Harrison Stroop from Watt with a 112.20, and Neil Kelly from Rack with a 113.93. Next up, event 75, the girls 15 and over 100-meter backstroke. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming the consolation final of the girls 15 and over 100-meter backstroke in lane 2, Jasmine Johnson from Charter Oak. Lane 3, Maggie Peterson from Charter Oak. In lane 4, Miriam Yule from Watt. And it's Maggie Peterson touching first with a 116.63. Next up, the championship final of the girls 15 and over 100-meter backstroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 75, the girls 15 and over 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Veda Congatira from Oahu's. Lane 2, Amelia Peterson from Charter Oak. Lane 3, Riley Anderson from Watt. Lane 4, Charlotte Sorensen from Watt. Lane 5, Juliet Oricibia from Rack. And lane 6, Megan Lucier from the Wahoos. And Riley Anderson's going to take the event from Watt with a 107.55. Next up is event 76, the boys 15 and over 100-meter backstroke. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation final of event 76, the boys 15 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 2, Andrew Mims from the Wahoos. Lane 3, Ozzie Andrews from the Wahoos. Lane 4, Ethan Lamb from the Wahoos. And lane 5, Rocco Guglielmo from Charter Oak. Ozzie Andrews off to a slight lead over Ethan Lamb and Andrew Mims. And Ozzie Andrews is going to take it with a 107.60, followed by Ethan Lamb with a 108.22. Next up, the championship final of the boys 15 and over 100 meter backstroke. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final, the boys 15 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1, AJ Yee from the Wahoos. Lane 2, Jack Cunningham from the Wahoos. Lane 3, John Dwyer from What. Lane 4, Jack Clancy from Rack. Lane 5, Jake Mercer from the Wahoos. And lane 6, Tommy Lucier from the Wahoos. And Jack Clancy from Rack is going to take it with a 101.79, followed by John Dwyer from What with a 103.32. Timers, it's such a lovely evening. Why don't you take a stroll down to the other end for the 50. Timers to the other end. Next up, event 101, the girls 11, 12, 50 meter butterfly. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation final of the girls 11-12 50-meter fly. In lane 1, Sterling Ford from the Wahoos. Lane 2, Kayla Eckhoff from Rack. Lane 3, Catherine Grant from What. Lane 4, Charlie Palmer from Rack. Lane 5, Olivia Johnson from Wahoos. And lane 6, Carolyn O'Grady from Wahoos. And Catherine Grant from What is going to take it with a 34.66. Next up, the championship final of the girls 11-12 50-meter butterfly. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 101, the girls 11-12 50-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Sadie Rubin from Charter Oak. Lane 2, Mary Kelly from Ridgefield. Lane 3, Viv Volanek from What. Lane 4, Sophia Milak from Ridgefield. Lane 5, Mimi Bellino from What. And lane 6, Delaney Gorelnick from Ridgefield. And Viv Volnek's going to take it with a 31.63. Next up is the consolation final of event 102, the boys 11-12 50-meter butterfly. Madam Referee. Swimming the consolation final of event 102, the boys 11-12 50-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Damon Sanderson from Ridgefield. Lane 2, Robbie Matthews from Bulldog. Lane 3, Kevin Wu from Charter Oak. Lane 4, Nicholas Kakanekavius from Wahoos. Lane 5, Ian Liu from Wahoos. And lane 6, Mason Wisniewski from Orca. And now the championship finals for event 102, the boys 11-12 50-meter butterfly. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 102, the boys 11-12 50-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Dennis Krut from Wahoos. Lane 2, Ryan Michiano from Wahoos. Lane 3, Henry Gimby from Wahoos. Lane 4, Ivan Turian from Charter Oak. Lane 5, Eddie Illard from Wahoos. And lane 6, Alistair Libertine from Wahoos. And Henry Gimby's going to take this one with a 33.44. Timers, come on back to this end of the pool. We miss you. Whatever we did, we're sorry. We'll never do it again. Come on back, timers, please. Next up, event 77, the girls 1400 meter butterfly. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation final of event 77, the girls 1400 meter butterfly. In lane 2, Elise Heller from Wahoos. Lane 3, Sophie Jacobson from RAC. Lane 4, Kylie the Panda Gray from Wahoos. In lane 5, Lena Miller from Charter Oak. And Kylie Gray is going to win this one with a 1:21.26. Next up is the championship final of event 77, the girls 1400 meter butterfly. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship finals of event 77, the girls 1400 meter butterfly. In lane 1, Marin Brooks from Wahoos. Lane 2, Sarah Horton from Wahoos. Lane 3, Bella Zarolo from What. Lane 4, West Bull from Wahoos. Lane 5, Olivia McLaughlin from RAC. And lane 6, Ellie Griffin from RAC. Bella Zarolo taking it out strong from What. And Bella Zarolo from What is going to take it with a 111 flat, followed by West Bull from the Wahoos with a 115.22. Next up, event 78, the boys 1400 meter butterfly. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Is Christopher Prills from Ridgefield Aquatics in the house. First alternate, Christopher Prills. Is he there? Second alternate, from What? Zach Stergiotis? Swimming in the consolation finals of event 78, the boys 13-1400 meter butterfly. In lane 1, Harry Zhao from the Wahoos. Lane 2, Adam Mims from the Wahoos. Lane 3 is not here. Lane 4, Luke Adams from the Wahoos. Lane 5, Nicholas Turian from What. And lane 6, James Hill from What. In lane 5, Nicholas Turian from What, turning first, followed by Harry Zhao from Wahoos and outside, and Adam Mims from the Wahoos. Adam Mims with a finishing kick here, pulling slightly ahead of the competition. And Adam Mims is going to take the heat with a 1:16.12. Great final 50. This is the championship final for event 78, the boys 13-1400 meter butterfly. Madam referee. Swimming in the championship final of event 78, the boys 13-1400 meter butterfly. In lane 1, Harrison Stroop from What. Lane 2, Gregory Pinchbeck from Wahoos. Lane 3, Stingray Sanchez from the Wahoos. Lane 4, Max Weber from Rack. Lane 5, Griffin Riebling from Rack. And lane 6, Connor Fega from What. Stingray Sanchez taking it out in a 28:39. This is the event that got him the nickname Stingray. Coming down the final stretch, it's Stingray ahead of Max Weber. Can he hold on? And it's Stingray Sanchez living up to his namesake and coming in at a 1:34. Next up, event 79, the girls 15 and over 100 meter butterfly. This is the consolation final. Madam referee. Swimming in the consolation finals of the girls 15 and over 100 meter butterfly. In lane 1, Ryan Holden from Fairfield. In lane 2, Juliette Arencibia from Ridgefield. Lane 3, Sarah Omar from What. Lane 4, Mackenzie Gray from the Wahoos. Lane 5, Molly Simmons from Rack. And lane 6, Maya Cruiser from the Wahoos. And it's Mackenzie Gray holding off the pack as we come into the last 25. And Mackenzie Gray is going to take it from the Wahoos with a 1:14.94. Next up, the championship finals of the girls 15 and over 100 meter butterfly. Madam referee. Swimming the championship final of event 79, the girls 15 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Megan Joe from What? Lane 2, Lila Strober from Charter Oak. Lane 3, Ava Ward from Rack. Lane 4, Riley Anderson from What? Lane 5, Ruthie Riccabon from What? And lane 6, Veda Congatira from the Wahoos. And it's Riley Anderson flying down the pool at 29.97 for her first 50. And Riley Anderson's going to take this one with a 1:04.04. Next up is event 80, the boys 15 and over 100-meter butterfly. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming the consolation final of event 80, the boys 15 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 3, Gavin Lamb from Wahoos. In lane 5, Will Larock from What? And Gavin Lamb's going to take the event, or the heat, with 109.32. Next up, this is the championship final of event 80, the boys 15 and over 100-meter butterfly. Madam Referee. Swimming the championship final of event 80, the boys 15 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Robert Riccabon from What? Lane 2, Lucas Fontana from Wahoos. Lane 3, Evan Van Velzer from Wahoos. Lane 4, John Dwyer from What? Lane 5, Jake Mercer from the Wahoos. And lane 6, Eric Ding from the Wahoos. It's Lucas Fontana finishing first, followed by John Dwyer, Jake Mercer, and Evan Van Velzer. Robert Riccabon's in the max too. This is anybody's race. Too close to call right now. We've got Dwyer, Van Velzer, Fontana, all up in the mix. And John Dwyer is going to take it, followed by Evan Velzer and Lucas Fontana. Dwyer's going to take it with a 102.67. 10-minute break. The pool is now open for family swim. 10-minute break. Get the inner tubes and water wings, folks. Next up, event 107, the girls 11-1200 meter freestyle. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation final of the girls 11-1200 meter freestyle. In lane 1, Nelly Zarolo from What? Lane 2, Sophia Weber from Rack. Lane 3, Sadie Rubin from Charter Oak. Lane 4, Caroline O'Grady from Wahoos. Lane 5, Elise Elborn from Rack. And lane 6, Abby Kazmierzak from Wahoos. And Sadie Rubin from Charter Oak is going to take it with a 1:10.12. Next up, the championship final for the girls 11-1200 meter freestyle. Madam Referee.
Take your mark.
Swimming in the championship finals of the girls 11-1200 meter freestyle. In lane 1, Summer Miller from What? Lane 2, Catherine Grant from What? Lane 3, Viv Volnek from What? Lane 4, Olivia Maltz from Wahoos. Lane 5, Lily Bender from Rack. And lane 6, Mimi Bellino from What? Viv Volnek finishing or touching first, flipping first at the 50 with a 31.02. She's pulling away from the pack here. And Viv Volnek's going to win the event with a 103.61, followed by Olivia Maltz with a 105.61. Next up, event 108, the boys 11-1200 meter freestyle. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation final of event 108, the boys 11-1200 meter freestyle. In lane 1, Nicholas Kakanivicius from Wahoos. Lane 2, Garrett Jeschke from Wahoos. Lane 3, Ryan Michiano from Wahoos. Lane 4, Kevin Wu from Charter Oak. Lane 5, Dennis Krut from Wahoos. And lane 6, Easton Longo from What? And it's Ryan Michiano inching ahead of Kevin Wu and Garrett Jeschke. And Ryan Michiano from the Wahoos is going to touch first with a 110.95. This is the championship final of the boys 11-1200 meter freestyle. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of the boys 11-12 100-meter freestyle. In lane 1, Nick Winslow from Wahoo's. Lane 2, Marco Kovac from What. Lane 3, Gabriel Narzusuk from What. Lane 4, Henry Gimby from Wahoo's. Lane 5, Matthew Cunningham from Wahoo's. And lane 6, Alistair Libertine from Wahoo's. Henry Gimby and Gabriel Narzusuk. Looks like Gabriel's got a slight edge on Gimby here as we come into the final stretch. And Gabriel Narzusuk from What? He's going to finish first with a 104.15. Next up, event 81, the girls 13-14 200-meter freestyle. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming the consolation final of event 81, the girls 13-14 200-meter freestyle in 1-1. Maren Brooks from the Wahoos. Lane 2, Taylor Baloney from Ridgefield. Lane 3, Sophia Lang from Charter Oak. Lane 4, Ellie Griffin from Ridgefield. Lane 5, Ria Londano from Wahoos. And lane 6, Elise Heller from Wahoos. Sophia Lang touching first with a 33.64. She's taking it out fast. 200 free is a completely different race from the 100 free. Let's see if she can hold on. Sophia Liang from Charter Oak going to touch first from the 100. Maren Brooks, lane 1 from the Wahoos, making a move, touching second. Closely followed by Rihanna Londano and Ellie Griffin. Looks like Sophia Liang paced this one correctly. She's pulled ahead of the competition. She's going to touch first for this heat. Next up, the championship final of event 81, the girls 13-14 200-meter freestyle. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of the girls 13-14 200-meter freestyle in lane 1, Cassidy Horrell from Rack. Lane 2, Ava Maltz from Wahoos. Lane 3, Savannah Bowers from What. Lane 4, Abby Horton from Wahoos. Lane 5, Chloe Archibald from Rack. And lane 6, West Bull from the Wahoos. Savannah Bowers taking it out in a 28.94. Looking strong. And Savannah Bowers at the turn, going a 1 minute, .98. It's Abby Horton and Chloe Archibald in second and third. West Bull is within striking distance, though, as is Ava Maltz and Cassidy Horrell. First at the 100 with a 104.37. And it's going to be Stingray Sanchez, followed by a fight for second between Harrison Stroop from Watt and Matthew Kroll from Watt. Sanchez is going to take it with a 2:11.69. And Matthew Kroll is going to edge out Harrison Stroop with a 2:15.29. Next up, event 83, the girls 15 and over 200 meter freestyle. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming in the consolation final of the girls 15 and over 200 meter freestyle. In lane 2, Jasmine Johnson from Charter Oak. Lane 3, Ruthie Riccobon from Watt. Lane 4, Megan Lucier from Wahoos. And lane 5, Maggie Peterson from Charter Oak. Megan's going to touch first with a 32.70. Ruthie Riccobon is close on her heels. At the 100 mark, it's Megan Lucier touching first with a 108.69. Ruthie Riccobon is second with a 111 flat. Megan Lucier still in the lead with a 146.49 at the 150. Megan's looking strong, holding on. Holding off Ruthie Riccobon and Jasmine Johnson in lanes 3 and 2. And winning the heat is Megan Lucier from the Wahoos with a 2:22.89. Next up, the championship final of event 83, the girls 15 and over 200 meter freestyle. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of the girls 15 and over 200 meter freestyle. In lane 1, Sarah Omar from What? Lane 2, Megan Jo from What? Lane 3, Ava Ward from Rec. Lane 4, Lila Strober from Charter Oak. Lane 5, Marion Yule from What? And lane 6, Amelia Peterson from Charter Oak. Ava Ward with a strong lead on the competition. Followed by Lila Strober. Ward is going to touch first at the 100 with a 103.24, followed by Strober with a 105.25. Ava Ward maintaining a lead as we come into the final 25. And Ava Ward's going to win the event with a 209.93, followed by Lila Strywer with a 213.65. Now our final event of the evening, event 84, the boys 15 and over 200 meter freestyle. This is the consolation final. Madam Referee. Swimming the consolation final of the boys 15 and over 200 meter freestyle in lane 1, Will LaRock from What? Lane 2, Christopher Mika from What? Lane 3, Tommy Q, Lucier from Wahoos. Lane 4, Rocco Giglielmo from Charter Oak. Lane 5, Daniel Gregorian from What? And lane 6, Lucas Fontana from Wahoos. Tommy Lucier is going to take it out in a 30.01. At the 100, Tommy Lucier is going to take it out first. About a body length lead ahead of the pack. 102.82 at the turn. At the 150, Tommy Lucier is still ahead. Tommy's strategy tends to be to take it out fast and try to hold on. Looks like he's got the pace to do so now. And winning the heat is Tommy Lucier with a 2:12.35. This is the championship final of the boys 15 and over 200 meter freestyle. Madam Referee. Swimming in the championship final of the boys 15 and over 200 meter freestyle. In lane 1, Aiden Police from Rack. Lane 2, Evan Velzer from Wahoos. Lane 3, Owen Vale from What? Lane 4, Stefan Weber from Ridgefield. Lane 5, Jack Clancy from Ridgefield. And lane 6, Robert Riccobone from What? Wow, Jack Clancy in lane 5 taking it out with a 26.80. That's aggressive. Can he hold on to it? Jack Clancy turning at a 55.98. He's swimming like it's Friday, folks. He's got lots left in the tank. Turning it at 1:26.61. Jack Clancy out with a commanding lead. Jack Clancy's going to finish off the weekend coming in under 2 minutes here. And it's Jack Clancy with a 1:56.82. Followed by Owen Vale with a 2:05.39. Sticking a fork in it, folks. That's the meet. Thank you, officials. Thank you, timers. Thank you, parents. Thank you, everybody.